Bonjour, Kinamagan Ireland Indigenicas, and welcome to today's writing lesson. Today's topic, adding concrete words to your narrative. Let's begin today with this PowerPoint. It's not mine, so credit goes to the original author, whoever they may be. Concrete words and sensory details is our topic. Concrete words are exact and specific. It's no longer said, it's exclaimed, whispered, yelled, screamed. We use concrete words in our writing to better show the reader. So this is going to focus on your five senses, what you see, hear, touch, taste, or smell. You cannot use your senses for a word. They are vague and do not create a picture for your reader. We always talk about mind movies, and that's what your writing should create. Don't just say wall. Is it a tall brick wall? Is it a short fence? We want to know exactly what we're dealing with. How do you know if your words are concrete? Ask yourself if you could see it, hear it, feel it, taste it, or smell it. If you can, you've been using a concrete word. If you can't, you may want to consider revising that choice of words with something that does answer one of those questions. So we have an example of a vague description. And vague just means that it's not very specific. Like I could say, it's a day outside. That's awesome. It's vague. Which day? And an example here is, I feel happy. We cannot see, hear, touch, taste, or smell happy. When you picture happy, it may be different than what someone else sees. A better description. Her smile went from ear to ear, and she had a little skip in her walk. Now I can picture that big smile that we say, smiling from ear to ear, and I can picture her skip in a walk. It's not trudging, and she's not frowning. She's genuinely happy. Another example, the smell from the kitchen was yummy. What exactly is yummy? Yummy for me might not be the same as yummy for you. Someone who doesn't eat meat might find the smell of meat cooking to not be very yummy, whereas other people will be like, I can't wait. A better description. The smell from the kitchen was a blend of cooked peaches and vanilla wafers. I can't wait for dessert. Now, this is very specific. If you're familiar with the smell of cooked peaches and vanilla wafers, you know exactly what that yummy smell is. If you're like me and you don't know what that combination is, it gives me an idea for a future dessert to try. How to make your story concrete continues with, it tastes good. Awesome. What's that mean? Better description. The brownie was crusty on the outside and still a little gooey in the center, just the way Grandma made them. So now we know that good in this case goes back to a memory for this person, that you can see it, you could feel the texture on your tongue. It makes me hungry. I'm not going to lie to you. Other version tastes good. It tastes as sweet as, take your simile there. Similes and metaphors can sometimes play a role in this as well, but this is very descriptive. Concrete words tell exactly what something is. They are specific. It helps show your story. See, hear, feel, taste, and smell. So let's go ahead to the Mike narrative. It was a cool, windy, late October afternoon. I want to add something to smell there. Might be the next sentence. We could smell the aroma of neighbors burning their leaves. Lived outside the center of let's go dense, let's go spread out neighborhood. Because a neighborhood in Mount Pleasant, Michigan is going to be far different than a neighborhood in Manhattan. It's going to be different. We add in here my friend Tony. We're hanging out with friends talking about the rumors of abandoned property. How about on a long abandoned property at the top of the tree-covered hill? The dilapidated house had last been lived in 30 years ago and was the site of a terrible murder in the 1960s. So you notice I've had word dilapidated. We now know that this house isn't in pristine form. It's not one that somebody's going to want to rush to buy. And here's replied. How about whispered? So what I'm going to ask you to do is to go through your writing and add concrete words. If you're using a Google Doc, you will just open that document up and make your changes there. If you're using a paper copy, you're going to want to write it along, use the little caret and write it above so that when you do your final draft, you will be all set to go. In our next session, we will be talking about that strong conclusion and wrapping up our narrative in a very short period of time. So make sure you're staying right where you need to be. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Have a minute, Gijigad, Minwa, Bamapi.